Pro-Trump One America News Network has finally walked back its bogus claims of voter fraud in Georgia. It comes after two Atlanta poll workers settled their defamation lawsuit against the far-right network.
Now, what you have to keep in mind is there's always a method to the madness. The reason why OAN took so long to come out and say, hey, there was no real, legitimate election fraud is because their audience wanted to see that there was election fraud. Why? Because they told their audience there was election fraud. And that's how this game works.
Here's how the walk back played out on air earlier this week.
We now provide you with this updated report from Georgia officials. Take a listen.
Georgia officials have concluded that there was no widespread voter fraud by election workers who counted ballots at the State Farm Arena in November 2020. The results of this investigation indicate that Ruby Freeman and Wandrea Shea Moss did not engage in ballot fraud or criminal misconduct.
The entire Republican base practically at this point just lives in a reality that is not reality. So again, OAN didn't wait this long because of they're just incompetent. No, they're very competent. They have a very large base of people who tune in, and they strategize for that to happen. They tend to their base. Their base wanted to see that there was large amounts of election fraud, so they carried it out for as long as they could until it fizzled down a little bit. It's really that simple.
It wasn't just these stupid networks. You actually had people connected with the president, close to the president, spreading the same lies, and they're, of course, the same lies that were spreading around the election. I guarantee I heard it from Trump supporters that I knew. I'm sure you heard that stupid conspiracy theory as well.
But you know what? It doesn't even matter because the base still at large believes, or at least will pretend they believe, that Donald Trump won in 2020, which goes back to what we talk about here all the time. Donald Trump largely is going to run on the fact that 2020 was stolen, not only from him, but from all of us. 2020 was robbed from the United States of America for having Donald Trump back on the throne to do, play golf and tweet and shit. You know what I'm saying? Because now, as we know, Elon Musk said he would, if this deal goes through, that he would absolutely, at least end the permanent ban. And Trump said, he's going to stay on Truth Social. But yeah, right. Taking Trump's word for anything, first of all, is a fool's endeavor. But not only that, Trump being able to stay away from Twitter, come on. I mean, that's going to set the entire world ablaze. And he's not going to be able to stay away from that level of temptation to once again be the most seen and talked about man on earth.
When the rubber does meet the road, these people back off very quickly. When Rudy Giuliani was asked to go into court in Pennsylvania and make the case that the 2020 election was rigged, he threw up his hands and said, well, I don't actually have any evidence of that.
But really what I'm truly interested to see is how exactly the Republican Party at large deals with, this Roe v. Wade situation, because their overall strategy, at least right now and continuing forward, will be to talk about it as little as possible. But that doesn't mean that they're going to be able to completely avoid the subject altogether. They're going to have to talk about it. They're going to have to address it in some form or fashion, whether it's they're being, they're interviewed or they're in a town hall or they're just, being approached by reporters or people on the streets. They're going to have to address this in some type of way. So, yes, Trump's going to run on the fact that 2020 was taken from him and us. But at the same time, we're looking at, they changed the debate rules. So, for the RNC to say, no, y'all don't have to debate in these national debates if you don't want to. So there's just so much going on. And we're going to have to keep our eyes glued to what's happening on a daily basis because everything really, really is unraveling and becoming crazy in the United States.